Thank you for watching RooTV.
Welcome back to this week's episode of RooTV. I'm Deja McKenzie.
And I'm Grace Kertz. The 41st Annual St. Patrick's Warm-Up Parade is taking place this weekend near UMKC. Keep watching to hear details.
UMKC finally has a pep band. Dubbed the Mob, this group of Roos was founded by Hannah Morrison, a second-year doctoral student who wanted to see what the group could bring to the table in terms of atmosphere, talent, and personal growth. From saxophones to bass guitars, the Mob's instrumentalist goal is to emphasize the significance of school spirit and tradition. Zach West, a trumpet player for the group, said that they were excited to see students letting loose and not being afraid to show appreciation for your school. The Mob joined UMKC's basketball teams this weekend in South Dakota, and we hope to see many more performances in the future.
Despite protests from foreign language professors, the School of Humanities and Social Sciences no longer requires foreign language classes to complete its degree programs. Faculty outside of the foreign language department voted on the removal of the 3-semester requirement, which went into effect fall 2022 during the reorganization of the new school. UMKC is the only school in the UM system to remove its language requirement for Bachelor of Arts degrees. Some teachers have expressed that this could make UMKC students less competitive in the job market. Students also may miss opportunities to study abroad or learn from a teacher of color. Lorena Hidalgo Johnson, a Spanish professor, stated, "We don't just teach language, we teach culture too. Having a professor like me, students can see a different culture." Departments are currently exploring more flexible ways for students to fill a language requirement, such as lessening the number of courses students have to take.
Before the wrap of a Black History Month, the African American Student Union celebrated by having their annual Freedom Breakfast. The breakfast was highlighted by keynote speaker Wesley Hamilton, who is a shooting survivor, founder of the nonprofit Disabled But Not Really, and an influencer. During his speech, Hamilton offered words of encouragement stating, "I hope to see more individuals being seen for their different unique abilities and embrace their identities." After Hamilton's speech, the annual Leadership Award was presented to Maloa May, a cashier at UMKC's dining hall. May stated, "I'm thankful that God allowed me to show people love, compassion, and kindness, no matter what they look like, what they have been going through." The TAASU celebrates Black History Month by honoring people who have done well for the community. If you are interested in joining, check out their Instagram at UMKC_TAASU.
Now, let's pass it over to Jackson Ogden for sports.
Welcome back into the den. I am Jackson Ogden, and March is here, and boy, the madness has been going on around campus. Our men's and women's team have been up in Sioux Falls for the Summit League tournament over the past weekend and into this week, and man, have things gotten crazy. Let's start with the men's. Unfortunately for the men, their madness came short in the first game against Omaha. They dropped a tough one. They got down big at halftime, rallied back in the second half, but it just wasn't enough as their season will come to an end with an 11-21 record. It's a good year, a lot of promising young players. They'll be back next year. Shout out to guys like Raquandis Mitchell and Shamari Allen who might be departing. They did a lot for the program. Great job for them. But let's talk about this women's team because, oh my goodness, this is what March is all about. So the women's team heads to Sioux Falls with a 7-22 record. They are the 10th and final seed in the bracket. I mean, nobody expects anything out of them. They only have 7 players travel. I mean, most rosters have 10 to 14 players on them. They only have 7 players travel. And in the first game, in the waning moments, they're down 2. Sinai St. Andre hits an unbelievable running 3 to give the Roos the buzzer beater win. Unbelievable. They win 66-65. The magic was officially underway. But it wasn't over. The glass slipper was still fitting because they go into the next day with no rest. They got to sleep, go straight back to the facility. There's only 7 of them. They're playing these entire games. They don't even have any depth. They don't have time to take a rest. And they go on and take number 2 seed North Dakota. And yet again, the madness continues. The Roos, March is just a funny time. Manai Mensah, Lee Stafford, those girls are just cooking up in South Dakota. They get the job done. They take out the number 2 seed in the conference, North Dakota, and then they head into the semifinals where unfortunately the madness and the Cinderella story does come to an end against Omaha with a 69-60 defeat, but still, clap it up. What an awesome job by our women's basketball team up there in Sioux Falls. A lot to be proud of and a lot to look forward to moving into next year and the years past that. Well, that's all I've got for right now. We're going to have plenty of Chiefs news coming up in the next few weeks, but for now, March Madness, great basketball season, and that'll do it.
Welcome back to Book Review. My name is Afnan Hussein. This past weekend, the adaptation of a book I highly enjoyed reading, Daisy Jones and the Six, was released on Prime Video, and I must say it did not disappoint. Daisy Jones and the Six is about how two people's simmering desire for each other transformed them into rock gods. Daisy Jones and the Six is a mixed bag of electrifying performances, earwormy music, fabulous fashion, and strange rock stars. With only the first 3 episodes of the series released, it already has managed to cinematize perfectly the feelings and sentiments the book made me feel. The book uses interviews with former 70s rock stars to piece together its sudsy tale of rock and roll. The show captures just that. It opts for a similar documentary structure by interviewing older versions of the characters and a dramatization of their story. The hair and makeup on the actors in these confessional segments is laughably unbelievable. There are some key differences, as there are with most adaptations, such as the disregards of important context pieces or iconic lines. But overall, the show has given me the same emotions I felt when reading the beginning of the novel. Hatred towards certain characters, love towards the passion, and so much more. I give the show a 4 out of 5 so far. Here is my favorite quote from the novel that I hope draws you to read the book and watch the show. I used to think soulmates were 2 of the same. I used to think I was supposed to look for somebody that was like me. I don't believe in soulmates anymore, but if I did believe in them, I'd believe your soulmate was somebody who had all the things you didn't, that needed all the things you had, not somebody who's suffering from the same stuff that you are. If you like this book review, check out my Instagram at afhussein_ for more. Thanks for listening.
Hi everyone, I'm Catia and I'm back with more movie and TV show recommendations. Beware, there might be spoilers. First, we have one of Netflix's new releases, We Have a Ghost. This movie centers around a family who moved into a very low-priced house. What they didn't know is that it's been haunted by a ghost named Ernest, which explains why the house has been unoccupied for so many years. One of the boys, known as Kevin, lives in the house and befriends the ghost. Eventually, his family finds out and turns Ernest into a viral sensation. The reality is that Ernest lost his memory and both he and Kevin are determined to find the truth about his death. Up next, we have Everything Everywhere All at Once. This movie's trippy, so you're going to have to pay attention unless you want to be lost the entire time. Overall, it gave me a Marvel movie vibe since it revolves around the multiverse. After doing some research, I found that the Russo brothers produced this movie, which explains why I thought that. The movie revolves around a Chinese immigrant family and shows the ups and downs of owning a laundromat in the US. Little did we know that the fate of humanity is up to Evelyn, the owner of the laundromat. She is tasked with saving her daughter from the dark side. This movie's funny, emotional, and a little bit questionable. Now, let me bring it back to 2008 with the movie The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. If you haven't watched this movie yet, you should. It is definitely one of my favorites as it follows a man who was born old. As he grows older, he's actually getting younger. We are introduced to the different stages of his life, which mainly revolves around Daisy, who has always been in the back of his mind. You can watch this on many different streaming services, such as the Roku channel, Prime Video, and Paramount+. That's all for me. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Hey guys, my name is Jonah Rivera, and I'm here to give my take on Morgan Wallen's new album, One Thing at a Time, released last Friday. The 36-song album clocks in with a playtime of 1 hour and 52 minutes. It's lengthy, but it's worth it. I'm a big fan of the album. Yes, not every song is a hit, but you get the best of Morgan in this album, the rock country singer in songs like You Proof and Life 180, but also the slower country songs like Neon Star and I Deserve a Drink. My favorites from the album are I Wrote the Book and Tennessee Fans. Those just smack. Those of you who are fans of Whiskey Glasses and Quitting Time will be happy as Morgan Wallen wrote a few sad songs. Can't have a country album without sad songs. Thanks, George Strait. 98 Braves, reminiscing of a relationship that could have been more. A favorite lyric, it ain't always home runs, and that's the way life plays. And the upbeat You Proof, sharing the struggle of getting over a significant other. However, since I'm cheesy at heart, my favorites from the album are Thought You Should Know, a song Morgan wrote for his mother, sharing his thankfulness for her. I mean, who else wishes they could write a smash song dedicated to their mom? And the romantic Me to Me, a song that talks about how the search is over, and he shares that the guy she's been looking for all along is him. I don't know who you're waiting on, but it kind of sounds like me to me. So guys, maybe take a chance. Send this song to a lady in your life and tell her that she's actually looking for you all along. Just might work. I would give this album a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's better than Dangerous, but it's pretty solid. So give it a listen, let me know what you think, and give me a follow on Instagram at jonah.rivera9. Thank you. See you later.
Mark your calendars for this year's St. Patrick's Warm-Up Parade, occurring this Saturday, March 11th at 2 p.m. on Brookside. This parade features 100 entries, including bands, drill teams, Irish dancers, bagpipers, and dogs, like Irish settlers. This parade, hosted by the Brookside Business Association and Community Improvement District, attracts participants and viewers from around Kansas City and of all ages. Join the festivities and celebrate alongside the marching, dancing, walking, parading vehicles, music, and more.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of RooTV. Be sure to hop on the subscribe button and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RooNewsUMKC.
Tune in next week.